Before I lose light, I'm going to film this video. So first off, right off the bat, I wanted to say I cannot believe that more people aren't talking about this book series or the main book. I went to see if there was a lot of talk on see if there's YouTube video reviews or I mean there's little bits here and there on Instagram and stuff, but most of it's from the author herself, who is an Instagram author. But I'm shocked that more people don't know about this book. So first off, I stumbled upon this book because I got one of those those ads that are have you, or do you like stories like Treasure Planet, or do you like stories like the Lost City of Atlantis? Did you love, or do you like enemies to lovers stories like Princess Anastasia? And I can't remember what the other one. Oh yeah, and the other one was do you wish the Rogue One main characters had a better ending or more of a romance? I stumbled upon one of those type of videos on Instagram, and then this video, or this book, popped up. Cities of Smoke and Starlight. And I was like, okay, that looks interesting, sounds interesting. And so I downloaded it on Kindle because it's on Kindle Limited as of May 2024. Both the first and the second book are on Kindle Unlimited. So if you have Kindle Unlimited and you like what I have to say about it, highly recommend you go check out this book. That said, I started reading it for the romance, the first book that is, for the romance, and I was very much disappointed. I have to say that I sped through it because of that, and I was kind of disappointed of what the romance had to give. That said, the second book, Realms of Wrath, was every hopeless romantic bit that I absolutely needed. But because of that, I loved the second one so much. When I say I love them, I mean I was obsessed with it. I went back and read the first one again, and I ended up loving it even more. So the first book, it's about it's about a group of adventurers who go off on a mission to request help in a war from an unknown type of people, or a sacred type of people, and they have this weapon type thing that they think that the enemy is going to be using. So it's kind of generically or roughly the basis of what the entire first book, Cities of Smoke and Starlight, is all about. It's about this band of people going together and trying to go into this distant place that not many people have been, to find these people and ask for their help. And it's it's two main characters, Kase and Hallie, which I will get into in a little bit. And then a couple of other, there's an engineer, a medic, and one of the main soldiers that's leading the mission. And they're all very close to Kase, more or less. So that's it. Let's get into, before I continue, the storyline is very similar to Atlantis, the Lost City, this is Disney movie, where they find a lot of danger. They have a lot of near misses, people die. It's very tense through most of the book, but they also have a lot of kind of really tender moments where they get to know each other. They learn why each one of them has decided to go on this mission, not necessarily for their main reason why, but individually why they're going off on this super dangerous mission, where they're risking their lives. There's betrayal in it. They learn of secret lineage. I don't want to get into it, but that's also kind of a thing as well. Very Lost City of Atlantis. But anyway, let's get into our main characters who I have come to fall in love with. So first we're gonna talk about Hallie. Hallie is very similar to Milo Thatch, which is the main scholar in A City of Atlantis. It's Milo Thatch meets Princess Anna. She's very spunky and confident, but she's also very knowledgeable, very respectful, very, very Milo Thatch type. She loves to sketch, she loves to learn, and she's obsessed with
literature and history. So the background kind of sort of the place that this whole thing takes place in is very much kind of steampunk-esque mixed with, which is very Lost City Atlantis, kind of meets Treasure Planet, with so I have hovercrafts and I can't remember what the weapons are called, but they're like blasters essentially. She works in a bookstore, and she's also like a university student, so that's kind of like her background. I'm digging in just like a little more. This isn't necessarily spoilers. She ran away from home a couple years ago when her twin brother died. Her parents were never really the same, which is why she relocated to this new main capital city to kind of start over. And she's kind of gotten like hooked in, kind of sort of like how Milo Thatch was, where she's got like a map and she's also like a translator of sorts. Then we have Kase. Love Kase. Kase is like Jim Hawkins from Treasure Planet meets Anakin Skywalker. Love Kase. With a little bit of Han Solo, I would say, mixed in there. He comes from like a military family with a lot of money, his father being one of the most highest ranking members of the government. He has 2 older brothers and a younger sister who's passed away. He also feels very responsible for her death, and it follows and like, you know, follows him throughout the whole book, both books. It's like a thing where he's like, he feels responsible, and he has this thing about like not wanting to lose people, like having to protect people who are in his life. He's a very headstrong, confident pilot who as a child used books to escape his like high perfectionist demands of his family. So he's also very much into literature. That's how where Kase and Hallie kind of like bond, is over books. He's also kind of like the middle child who feels things very strongly, and he also has like a temper at times, which also kind of gives off the Anakin Skywalker vibes. That said, the story in the first one, Cities of Smoke and Starlight, is a very, very slow burn. Like a very slow burn. Like it's, think of like from the movie Anastasia. That's it. Anastasia and Dimitri really reminds me of the 2 of them and like their romance, how they like hated each other. They were so annoyed with each other, just didn't want to be around each other. And then they slowly got to know each other, bonded, had a couple of near misses where he protect her. And then like they start to like notice like, hey, they're actually a lot hotter than I thought. But like that said, if you take like the movie Anastasia and you split it in half, like the first book where they're like just, they hate each other and they're bonding as friends, because like there's like a spark at the end of the first one, but like nothing really happens out of it. And then like in the beginning of the second one, they're just like very close, who just happen to like really like each other, but like no one's gonna say anything about it. Like there's a few like moments and like almost kisses. There's like a couple of almost kisses that like when I was reading it, I was like, but that's pretty much it. It's very much like enemies to friends in the first book, which is totally fine. Like once you accept and you know that that's the case, see what I did there? Then like it's really enjoyable. If you look at it as an adventurer's book where these 2 characters really get to know each other, knowing that there's not going to be any major romance in it, I think it's a lot more enjoyable that way. That said, the second book is probably my favorite because of all of the romantic tropes and the moments that they have in it is so precious. Because of the proper, I spelled this wrong in my notes, the proper culture that they live in, it's kind of gives a lot of like, I don't want to say Bridgerton, where they're like, they have to court each other and they're very kind with each other. But like, because like, you know, Kase is like a gentleman, there's nothing more than like very sweet like kisses and moments in the second story. There's even parts where I swore like they were gonna like share a room together or something, but like nothing ever happens. And it doesn't quite surprise me either, because there's certain things that happen in the first book that imply that Kase is brought up very, very proper, very much like you don't take advantage of women, so on and so forth. And so like when it came to him and Hallie in the second one, I was like, he's probably not gonna push anything on her, which he doesn't at all. He's very much a gentleman. But I feel like I liked the second one more, not just because it's the second one, to kind of give you a little generic idea what the second one is about real quick. So at the end of the first one, they end up going home. They go back home after the mission's all over. The second one, she finds out information about herself in the first one and decides she wants to go back home. But where home is not too close. And Kase is dealing with some things. And so he decides to kind of like run from his responsibilities and decides to partner with her to like sneak off and basically take her home and then come back home. He has no intention of coming back home and dealing with the responsibilities he's escaping from. So like the second book is their journey, just the two of them together to bring her home, and then at the end she makes it there, and then it's like everything that's going on. But there's a lot of where there's like action and near misses in the first one. The second one, it's a lot of like, how do I describe this? It reminded me a lot of like Empire Strikes Back, where there's a lot of capturing, there's a lot of, oh no, we're gonna die moments, more so in this one than the second one, or more so in the second one than in the first one. There's a lot of like, you know, like last minute confessions about things, and oh, it's so good. I can't even. When I tell you that I have read both of these books twice in the last 4 days, that is not something that I do. I don't like to read. I'm like, oh, that was a good book, I'll read it like maybe next year. No, like I had to like soak in as much as I could out of these two books because I loved them so much. And like I said, like if you like Star Wars, Lost City of Atlantis, Treasure Planet, I also recommend reading these books, listening to the soundtracks of the Lost City of Atlantis and Treasure Planet, because it really, more Treasure Planet, I think, it gave like a really good background music, I thought. But like, I don't know what it is. It was super easy to read. It's like, it's not trying to be anything than what it clearly is. There's no like major twists necessarily. You know, it's just, it is what it is. And I don't know, I just thoroughly enjoyed it. Right now there is no third book. That said, the second book ends on a cliffhanger. So just to warn you from the massive, my cat decided to all of a sudden join us. Besides the massive, like, you know, flip out that I had when I realized that it ended on a cliffhanger. It ends, just to warn you, I'm not gonna, no spoilers. It ends very much how Empire Strikes Back from Star Wars ended. Like that last scene. And that's all I'm gonna say. That's not really spoilers, but anyway, I really enjoyed it and I highly recommend you go and read it. Like I said, it's on Kindle Unlimited right now. I believe it's on a discount for the next couple of weeks, so it's not very expensive. Like I said, she's a small author. Not many people I've seen been buzzing about this book, so I'm trying to like bring buzz to this book, both of these books, because I think they're really, really good and amazing. I'm thinking about doing another video about what I think the third book should be about and what I would like to see in the third book. I don't typically do book reviews, so I know this is not normal content for me, but I just had to tell people about this book because I loved it so much. So please go check it out on Amazon. And yeah, I would have the hard copy, but because I bought the Audible, I have it on Kindle, but I also bought it on Audible because I wanted to listen to the first book, and then I bought the hard copy of the second book because I loved it so much. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you've read the book, please let me know what your favorite part of the book is in the comments below, or let me know if you're gonna go download it right now. Let me know that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.